So, anyway, it's pronounced Uranus. Let's get that straight. Uranus. Not Uranus. So don't you wise guys be using that term anymore. It ain't Uranus we're talking about. It's Uranus. I'm Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, published by Simon & Schuster Saga Press. Today I'm going to do a short video about one of my favorite series. It's got about 25 books in this series, so I didn't want to review each one of the books. I just wanted to review the series all as a whole. It's called The Grand Tour by Ben Bova. It's a great science fiction series. Let me just give you the brief little rundown about it. Make this video short and sweet and might get you interested in exploring the grand tour of our universe through the eyes of great science fiction author Ben Bova, one of the legends in the field. What is the Grand Tour? Well, it's a series of novels he started where humanity explores the moon. There's a couple books about that. Then humanity branches out to Mars. One of my favorite books is Ben Bova's Mars. It's fantastic. Then we branch out and humanity starts to explore all the other planets one by one. Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto. All of them. And Uranus, which is the newest book in the series, which I just read. That's why I wanted to do a short little video on the Grand Tour. So, it's a generation-spanning series. It's about 20 to 25 books long at this point. I don't know. I only brought a handful of them downstairs. I've got them all upstairs in hardcover. The only ones I don't have in hardcover are the 3 Mars books and the 2 Moon books, because they're much older. They were written in the 70s and 80s and stuff. But this series has been going for quite a long time, where he has been taking us from the moon to Mars to every one of the planets to the asteroid belt. These 4 books are about the asteroid belt, the rock rats. He covers every detail of exploring our own universe, planet by planet, asteroid by asteroid. It is amazing. And it's a generational spanning series where we start out with one generation exploring the moon, the next generation exploring Mars, and on and on and on. And it lasts 1,000 years until we've explored all of the planets and asteroid belts and planet moons. I mean, we've got some of the books are just focused on like the moons of Jupiter or the moons of Saturn. I mean, it's really a cool series. And he goes into depth about how these planets might be colonized one by one. Scientifically accurate. The stories are great. The characters are great. Some of the characters, I mean, it's generational, and also, some of the characters are in some of the books, but then they die off, and their prodigy takes over, and on and on and on throughout the generations. But it's kind of like a family saga wrapped into a space exploration saga, all of its own. And some of the later books that he's been coming out with, like the last 4 or 5, are humanity has branched beyond our own solar system, and now we've started to go out into the galaxy and discover other habitable planets. So that's why it's called the Grand Tour. And he's been writing these books maybe one a year or one every couple of years since the late 70s, early 80s-ish. These are great science fiction novels. Each one of them is a standalone novel. Or if you want to read the whole series in order, they do have a flow. Some characters overlap. All in all, solid work. I mean, and you learn so much about every single one of the planets in our solar system, and their moons, and their asteroids. And it's just fantastic. So I just wanted to make a little short video to give a shout out to Ben Bova and his series titled The Grand Tour. And you can get this on anywhere the books are sold, you know. I would start with the moon books and work your way through Mars and work your way through the solar system one by one. And let's see where this heads. Let's see how many more books he does in the series, and let's see how far out into the universe the Grand Tour takes us. I think they're fantastic books. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna review each one at a time yet. Maybe down the road in 10 years when I've reviewed everything else in my library, and we'll get to these. But for the time being, let's give, as a general, big, massive, one rating for the whole shebang, all 20 to 25 books. Let's go 8 out of 10 solidly for the whole thing together. They're great fun. You learn a ton of stuff about our solar system and universe and science. Not only that, but they're great stories. Each one of them is a great little story in and of itself. So go out and get Ben Bova's The Grand Tour. They are fantastic.